mahaba, mahirap, masalimuot ang paglalakbay ng pinaka-importanting pagkain nating mga Pilipino, ang bigas.
This is an open letter
from James.
Elgin.
Jan.
Our world is a very difficult place to live in. That is one fact that we cannot deny. Every day we are faced with challenges that sometimes we find often too hard to conquer. But somehow, nevertheless, we are still able to do so. It is often concluded that it is due to our resiliency as Filipinos.
We are tough, indestructible, and ever so strong that no matter how hard we burn and break, we are still able to rise like phoenixes.
However, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy heart that we deliver this message. Our brothers and sisters from agricultural sectors, our farmers, are facing long-suffered dilemmas. The high cost of inputs, low price of palay, lack of capital labor problem, lack of port-harvest facilities, pests and diseases, and irrigation system to name a few.
Despite that, the Philippines remains one of the top exporters of rice in the whole world, wherein farmers play a significant role. They have a large contribution to our economy, which the whole nation depends on, and yet they are the most aggrieved in this issue.
Their work is being scarcely compensated, let alone given incentives for their inputs in planting rice. We find it very sad and ironic that the very people who supply us food that we eat on our table are the ones who are struggling and starving due to poverty.
It is a known fact to us that rice is the most essential and important food for us Filipinos. From the poorest of the poor, middle class, up to the richest relies heavily on rice for their everyday meals. That is why the inflation with the price of the rice at a 9-year high of 6.4% in August of 2018, which rose to 6.7%, was highly felt by everyone from any socioeconomic bracket.
Most of the people, especially those who are living in poverty, rely solely on NFA rice or National Food Authority provided by the said agency. But as the supply of NFA rice runs low, the price of the commercial rice began to soar, resulting in a staggering price hike from all the other producers and the difficulty of buying rice.
We may ask, why wouldn't the farmers just lower the price of rice to make it cheaper when it is released to the market? The farmers are not capable of controlling the prices. The National Food Authority and the private sectors are the ones who are in charge of managing the prices. The NFA buys rice from our local farmers for 17 pesos per kilo, while private rice traders buy it for 20 to 22 pesos. The thing is, the price for the rice our local farmers sell is already cheap. It is so cheap it could even barely cover all the debts and expenses they've invested in the production.
So for that particular reason, farmers will choose to sell their rice to the private sectors. We may again ask, can the NFA just increase the purchase of rice from farmers? The NFA spokesperson answers that it is hard to increase the price because it would be difficult to lower it as time goes by, and its effect would greatly affect the economy.
GMA Public Affairs' special documentary, Walang Unli Rice, which compelled us to devise this very video, addresses these problems that are not just affecting the farmers who work in the rice fields, but also those Filipino consumers that are highly affected by it.
In the urban areas, some people have to get up early and wait in long lines for hours just to buy NFA rice, which is the cheapest raw rice on the market, while some people, on the other hand, regard raw rice as a kind of luxury they could not afford. With costly local supply unable to meet the demands and cartels controlling the market to hold prices strong, importing cheaper rice has always served as a stopgap measure.
However, massive rice importation has become the standard, including smuggled rice. Despite this, imports have had little effect on supply and costs. Imports always arrive late, coincidentally with harvest season. These tends to lower local farm gate rates, further discouraging farmers from planting palay. Worse, the NFA has reduced its ability to control prices by acting as merely a facilitator of private sector importation. It has colluded with private traders in smuggled profiteering operations.
Such a process will not be easy. It is arduous. It would require you not only to invest your time and effort, but money and resources to make this a success. But we believe that even individuals like you are capable of executing little efforts that can redound to greater and better effects. How can an individual like you help our local farmers? What specific steps can you take?
First off, urge local government units to buy from local farmers, especially with the wide reach of local government units. Former National Food Authority or NFA Chief Renan Dalisay suggested that one way people can help Filipino farmers is to lobby their local government units to buy local rice. This will help ensure stable income for Filipino farmers and receive a constant demand for their products at reasonable prices. Dalisay noted that people can lobby their local government units to buy from Filipino farmers for 20 pesos per kilo and sell this in their local markets for 40 pesos per kilo. Set up a market for local farmers. Filipino farmers go through a rigorous process when selling their local goods. By setting up a market for these farmers to directly sell their goods to consumers, will cut the bureaucracy involved, thus becoming easier for farmers to earn income.
Create a market for local farmers to sell their goods. This could be online or on the ground. Session groceries, for examples, bridges consumers to Filipino farmers to sell their local goods.
Another action you could take is to volunteer in an organization. Join outreach programs or activities, or volunteer in an organization that focuses on helping local farmers. Session Groceries, for example, is currently accepting volunteers to help Filipino farmers and to expand their network of farmers within the country. You can volunteer for their organization by joining the Facebook group Helping Local Farmers or message Session Groceries on Facebook. Another organization where you can volunteer is Rice Pinas, where it aims to unite and empower consumers by giving them options on where to buy rice as direct from our farmers as possible. You can volunteer for their organization by joining the Facebook group Rice Pinas Volunteers or message Rice Pinas on Facebook.
Lastly, share and amplify information about local farmers. Awareness of the issue is essential by sharing posts on social media and sparking a conversation within communities.
We are in this together.
By sharing this advocacy, we are helping a father, a mother, a brother, or a sister to sustain their daily necessities.
Spread the word.
Help our local farmers.
Together, we stand against poverty and marginalization.
And marginalization.